Yes, can I hear it? My goodness. It is an honor to welcome you to Villanova's Fall Preview Day for the Villanova School of Business. All right. My name is Erica Woods, and I have the honor of serving as Senior Associate Director in the Office of Undergraduate Admission. Yes, that means I'm one of the ones that reads your applications. Throughout the course of today, you will meet with faculty, you're going to see staff, students who are all going to talk to you and share with you our Augustinian Catholic tradition. They'll share with you our academic offerings, our robust community of student organizations, pretty much all that Villanova has to offer. It is my sincere hope today that you will find everything valuable as you evaluate for your future college home. Not sure if you knew this, but Villanova actually translates to new home. So we hope this will be your home one day. We are the only Augustinian Catholic university in the nation, and we were founded in 1842 by the Friars of the Order of St. Augustine as a direct response to educational injustice in the city of Philadelphia. To this day, our Augustinian tradition is the cornerstone of our community in which students learn to think critically, act compassionately, and succeed while serving others. Honestly, the strength of our community, if you were to ask anyone at Villanova what their favorite thing about us is, they will likely say that the strength of our experience comes from the welcoming community. Our members are bonded together by the shared responsibility of upholding the Augustinian ideals of Veritas, Unitas, and Caritas. Alums, what does that mean? Say it louder. And, thank you. Don't act like you don't know that. Veritas, Unitas, Caritas is truth, unity, and love. The election of Pope Leo XIV, y'all knew his name was coming at some point. The election of Pope Leo XIV, an Augustinian friar and member of Villanova's class of 1977, reminds us of the worldwide impact of the Augustinian heritage. At Villanova, you will become what you are not yet. And that's a phrase directly from St. Augustine. Villanova's rigorous academic experience, which is rooted in the liberal arts, forms an environment in which students and professors are partners in learning. We are dedicated to providing a personalized experience that fosters each student's intellectual and spiritual well-being. We are home to a diverse group of about 7,000 undergraduate students who are studying over 100 academic programs across 4 undergraduate schools and colleges. But in addition to this work inside the classroom, because that's not all they do, students are highly encouraged to serve those in need. Through academic and service programs, Villanova seeks to develop both the heart and the mind. And it creates an atmosphere in which students are called to ignite change as they move along their journey to become what they are not yet. So today, you will have the opportunity to explore our 260-acre campus. We are located just 12 miles west of Center City, Philadelphia. Go Birds, by the way. That's right. As you walk around, you're also going to see a lot of construction. That is going to be Vic Majidi Hall, which will be our new Falvey Library. It will expand Villanova's study, learning, and community spaces while also amplifying our research capacity. And while we're not quite ready to welcome you there just yet, you may have seen the video that highlights the addition of the Cabrini campus. It has an impressive mix of academic, residential, recreational, dining, and athletic stuff, okay? So this is a beautiful campus filled with trees, and it'll be opening for you all next fall. Congrats. I like applause. You can applause for anything, okay? You can clap for me just standing here, and I'd be fine with that. All right. So I truly hope, though, that you will enjoy your experience on campus today, and it will leave you asking us, okay, how can I become a Wildcat? So as the person that is one of the people responsible for reading your applications. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you can expect for your application process. So should you wish to consider Villanova your new home for the next 4 years, we invite you to submit either a common application or, new for this year, we're also on the coalition application. We don't care which application you use. Honestly, they both have the same information. They both have biographical information, activities list, a writing sample, all that stuff. So you need to submit an application. In addition to that, we will be needing your high school transcript, one Villanova supplemental essay in addition to the essay on the common application or coalition app, and one required letter of recommendation from a teacher who has taught you during high school. Now, the best piece of advice that I can give you for asking your teachers for letters of recommendation, and this one's actually pretty important, so I hope we have our listening ears on. Before you ask your teacher for a letter of recommendation, I need you to please be sure that teacher likes you first. I know it sounds simple, but what we're looking for is to get to know who you are. So ask that teacher that loves you to pieces and can tell us all the ways in which you have contributed in the classroom, the way you've interacted with your classmates, basically someone who will speak highly of you, okay? Don't ask that teacher that don't like you that much. We don't want to do that, all right? But who wouldn't love y'all? Look at your faces. Everyone loves you, okay? In addition, if you would like to, you can also submit an optional recommendation letter from your high school counselor. Now, as you heard what I said one teacher and one counselor. In fairness to all applicants, we're not reading anything more than that, okay? Some of y'all like to send me 15, 20 letters. Please don't do that. Okay, don't ask everyone in your life for a letter, please, all right? You just need one amazing teacher, one counselor as the optional, and that is all we will read. Got it? All right. Once again, we have adopted a test optional policy for this application year, and when I say test optional, I mean it. It includes all of the things such as the honors program, all athletic program, all merit-based scholarships, so we truly have that option for you to not submit your scores. Last year, over 50% of our applicant pool chose to use the test optional option. Didn't know what else to say about that. Should you wish to have your scores considered, we will take either the SAT or the ACT, and we'll superscore both. And we do not require the optional science section for the ACT, in case you were wondering. Last year, for the class of 2029, we were very fortunate to receive more than 26,300 applications for our 1,770 available seats, okay? And we're also excited to announce that we're actually growing this year's class by 200 more students. We're trying to meet the demand as best we can. We know you all want to be here. We want you here, okay? We're doing our best. As we carefully and thoughtfully review each application, we're looking for hardworking students who are intellectually curious, who are open to difference, and have demonstrated kindness. That's why everyone here is so nice. So we will evaluate this through your transcript, your writing supplements, your letter of recommendation. We really just want to know, who are you as a person? Okay, remember that we don't know you. All we have is this common application to get to know you, because we don't do interviews, so this is all we got. So use the application to show us what passions, gifts, talents, whatever you think is going to come ignite change at Villanova, and whatever you're doing that reflects our Villanova values. So we offer 4 rounds of admission with 2 different deadlines. There's November 1st and January 15th. November 1st, you can do either early action or early decision 1. January 15th, you can do regular decision or early decision 2. For those of you writing this down, it's also on the back of your brochure. Just trying to help you out. Now, early decision, that is the binding agreement that says if you apply through early decision and you are admitted, then you must enroll and withdraw your applications to every other institution you've applied to, okay? So you can only do early decision if you know we're your #1 choice. And why wouldn't we be? But just saying, all right? You can only do early decision if you know it's your number one choice. All right? So if you want to maybe weigh some other financial aid offers, those sorts of things, that's where the other rounds come into play. So another thing to know specifically about business, pre-calculus is a requirement for the Villanova School of Business. However, a little fun fact here, past successful applicants have had at least 1 year of calculus beyond pre-calculus if it is offered at your high school. So if your high school offers calculus, successful applicants typically take that. If your school doesn't offer calculus, then we will accept pre-calculus. If you're given the choice between calculus or statistics, choose calculus over statistics. Cool? All right. If you wish to apply for financial assistance, please know that we offer both need and merit-based financial aid. However, the bulk of our resources are allocated for need-based aid. It's just part of our Augustinian mission and values to put our financial resources where there is need. Now, I know you have a lot of questions about applying, all that fun stuff. I promise you, myself and my fabulous admissions team, we are going to be here at the fair later on to answer all those questions, okay? So hold on to your admissions-related questions until we get to talk to you, because right now, we're going to hear from the Villanova School of Business. Okay? I am so pleased to introduce our first speaker, who you are going to love, Dr. Wen Mao, the Helen and William O'Toole Dean of the Villanova School of Business. Let's give her a round of applause, everybody.
Very hard to follow Erica, isn't it? Thank you, Erica, for that really energetic introduction. Don't you just want to come already after that? Say no more. All right, so a little bit about the business school. First of all, good afternoon and welcome to Villanova. And thank you for your interest in the School of Business. You probably are looking into various programs already for the business school, knowing the students we typically have. You've done your research, and you're going to hear from my colleagues here, the Associate Dean of Undergrad Program and Assistant Dean for Professional Development, Parents, Jobs, Internships, top of mind. Probably top of mind, jobs, internships, AI. Am I correct? Yes. Okay. They will tell you all about it. And of course, if you do come to Villanova, and some of you are alums here or have children who attended Villanova before, you will know every one of our events, the highlight is always our students. So we have 2 seniors here that will share with you their experience at Villanova. All right, so what can I possibly add to that after Erica and before our amazing colleagues and students? Well, let me just say 2 things about us, in addition to maybe later you will learn the programs. If I have to say, when choosing a college, it's a daunting choice for many of us. I've gone through that with my daughter. It's a big decision. It's an expensive investment. You want to look at all the facts. So hopefully today, in addition to having a very pleasant day, very enjoyable trip here, you will gain insights about the factors that matter to you in that decision. To me, really 2 things stand out about Villanova School of Business. I've been here for 30 years, so I would know. One is what we really look to instill in all the business students is that mindset of embracing change. Nowadays, today more than ever, that is so important. And our faculty and staff are great role models for that. I'll just give you an example. This Friday, 2 days ago, we had the Innovative Teaching Breakfast, where the professors share their ideas, what they're doing, what's new in their courses. AI is everywhere. So in addition to an analytics and AI co-major that we're rolling out this fall, We also have AI and machine learning minor, but those are just for students who are really into that and want to have a major and minor. But all our courses, Friday was so eye-opening for me. Our accounting faculties are using AI, and they know exactly what all the accounting firms are doing using AI, so they are gonna prepare our students for in their accounting courses, even if you're not an AI major or minor. Our marketing professors are trying to use AI to simulate sales and pitches and brandings with our students. And our MIS faculty are creating all the avatars. That just freaks me out. They look so real. They all speak 11 languages now. It's amazing. So lots are going on. So they are role models. Behind me here we have Brenda, our Assistant Dean for Professional Development. They've been using AI to help our students build their career long time ago. So they are role models. So we ask our students to develop that mindset, and we do that in our everyday life as well. So that's one thing I want to say about us that I think is worth mentioning. The other is what Erica mentioned, the community. Now, you probably hear communities a lot as you visit various schools. I'll just give you an example of actually or two about our community. We are really tight. So every August, I sit in my office when the school starts. I kind of take it for granted. I get personally offended if I don't get calls from our alum from New York and elsewhere tell me about how our students did in their internship this summer. I get calls from Goldman, Bank of America, accounting firms. So far, it's been all good. Of course, they tell you to tell good news. All our students are getting return offers from their internships. And I just chatted with Brenda here, 75% this year, right? 75, class of 24, 75% of our students are getting job offers from their internships, right? So that internships are incredibly important. And that community feedback from our alum. I also get very passionate calls from our community members when our students don't answer their questions correctly in the interview. What is going on, Dean Mao? Why is this kid not able to do that? And so I immediately call Brenda and say, okay, find out, is that kid? In which case we'll know what to do. Or is it a broader issue with our curriculum that we need to fix, right? So we're very fortunate to have very passionate alum, parents, friends of Nova, and faculty and staff, that we have that very close loop, that we keep an eye on things for our student. And one parent last Christmas, during the Christmas party, said, well, Dean Mao, you keep talking about this number, 98% of your students get internships. My son is yet to have an internship. So I just texted the name to Brenda. Within 1 hour, I got a whole list of interactions her office had with this student, and pros, cons, strengths, weaknesses, things they're working on. Needless to say, within 1 month, he's got the internship. Not because the parents called, because we've been working on it. And the lesson is call her directly. I think it's much easier. Just skip me. If you have issues with program, advising, call Larry directly. Well, speaking of talented, passionate people that works for the business school, please allow me to introduce our next speaker, Associate Dean of Undergraduate Programs, Larry Villian.
Hello, there we go. Thank you, Dean Mao. I appreciate the very warm introduction. Welcome to Villanova. We're so excited that you're here spending the day with us. You brought some great weather, so thank you for that. It's a little warm, but that totally great, beautiful fall day. So what I thought we could do today is have a little bit of an unofficial conversation about the business school. We have two of our fabulous students here, in addition to my colleague, Dean Stover, to tell you all a little bit about how special this place is. So we'll do some intros. We'll talk about the academic experience here at VSB, talk about how we prepare our students for their jobs and their internships after they graduate, and sort of some final thoughts. And then we'll open it up for you for questions. Okay, so you've heard who I am.
Hi guys, I'm Christopher Walbridge. I'm a finance and business law student who just picked up another minor this semester, data analytics with a specialization in artificial intelligence. I'm from Orange County, California. Any California people in the house? Oh yeah, one guy. That's the first time ever. We've done 4 of these. And yeah, just super excited to be here. Happy to answer any questions you guys might have. I hope you guys enjoy listening to me talk because I'm going to do it a lot.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nova. My name's Shania Q. I'm a senior, as I said before, just like Chris. I am a marketing and business analytics co-major with a concentration in digital marketing, and I am from the lesser-known Orange County, New York, more specifically Monroe, New York. Think of the Woodbury Commons, if anyone knows what that is, or the Hudson Valley. I see that.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Brenda Stover. I would say you're welcome to call me, but maybe not all at once. So I do have the privilege of leading the O'Donnell Center for Professional Development, which is an office specifically targeted at undergraduate business students, and we'll talk a little bit more about the services that we deliver. I also work with Dean Mao in terms of building employer relationships, work with our University Career Center in building employer relationships. So we have a lot of great things to share with you about what you could experience if you come to VSB.
Great. So I thought we could start off telling you a little bit about the academic experience. Villanova School of Business, we typically we will be bringing in about 500 students each class year. Really excited. Our student-faculty ratio are 15-1. We will get to know you very closely. I think our students can attest to that, and they'll share some of that experience with you. Our average class size is about 26, so that really allows for a lot of amazing engagement in the classroom. Faculty members, absolutely, as I mentioned, will know their students, but also it really allows the students to get to know each other very well. And I think that the groups that you form in your first year business dynamics class sometimes carry through various places. Got some nods going on. I'm teaching business dynamics this fall, and it's just been an amazing experience. So really excited. We have some cutting edge academic programs, which I'm going to share with you here in a minute. But I kind of want to turn it to our students. Tell us a little bit about what your favorite class was. Shania?
Would love to go first. So I think my favorite class so far was probably my freshman year competitive effectiveness class. So this is a class that is 6 credits. It's pretty hefty. A lot of students are intimidated by it, but honestly, I loved it because it was my first introduction to marketing and management and really getting that hands-on experience. So something about a competitive effectiveness is that you actually get to work on a real project with a big brand. My brand was Pepsid with Kenvue, so J&J. And I had a great time, had a fantastic team. Like Larry was saying, I had 10 people in my team, got super close to them. I still talk to them freshman year all the way to senior year now, and I just loved every part of it.
Now for me, my favorite class was financial accounting, and you may be thinking, you're not an accounting major at all. I stopped taking accounting classes after the required ones, but it was just a new class for me. It was a new language. I've never looked at accounting, and I was really struggling in the class to begin with. But my professor, Professor Karen Ton, she was from Orange County. She's from the area. That was kind of neat. But she saw that I was struggling. And let me tell you, I don't struggle in a lot of classes. I'm a good student, but I really was. And she took time. She sat down with me. Aside from her office hours, which she provided to everyone, we had a lot of one-on-one time where we were able to, go over some concepts, go over some, some exam prep, and it was really helpful for me to get a decent grade in that class, but also to kind of get that base of knowledge of accounting because it's so important, especially in the business world.
So you can sort of get a theme here about how the community within the classroom and the community between students and faculty is extremely strong at VSB, something we're very, very proud of. I think some of our results speak for themselves. I don't have that on the slide, but I think it's important to know. We have a 96% first to second year retention rate. That is extraordinary in higher education. So we're very proud of that. And 94% of our students graduate within 4 years. And so that is that's also very exciting. And I encourage you, take a look as you're thinking about schools at their retention rate and their graduation rate, really important. Our students are global citizens and very interested in being a part of the world community. And I think that's especially important if you're studying and wanting to work in business. And so I think we send our students all over the world. About half of our students study abroad. So I'm wondering if Christian and I, tell us a little bit about your abroad experiences that you were able to get at VSB.
Yeah, so I had the unique opportunity to go abroad to Berlin for a Maymester. So if there's semester options, but I decided to do a Maymester, so it was a 2-week program over in Berlin, Germany, learning about management information systems, and especially with the Berlin public transportation there, how they kind of use technology and artificial intelligence and these data systems to coordinate their train lines. I thought that was super unique and fascinating, traveling to different areas in Berlin. SAP has a lot of setups there, just different firms. Also, exploring the culture. There's a huge culture in Germany revolving around, soccer, family, beer, and we were able to, see all aspects of that, traveling, exploring. I'm not sure if I was supposed to say that, but it's all right.
Yeah, so I actually didn't go abroad. I chose to go on the internship path, like Dean Ma was talking about before. I decided it just might work out better just getting the hands-on experience. Love to travel though, but on the study abroad point, I know so many people who went abroad, and every single one of them come back with a ton of stories, huge smiles, and they always say they love the people they met, the people they went with, and even the professors that went alongside them. So,
Can I jump in there, Larry? So the international experiences, while there's lots of opportunities to do that through going abroad for a summer or a semester, our students get international experiences through other avenues as well. So the O'Donnell Center works with and supports 30 student business societies, and we have a funding source that allows societies to apply for financial support to do unique co-curricular experiences. We're currently in the process of supporting a group of students that are involved in the International Business Society to travel to Kenya over fall break, where they're going to participate in a finance conference, and then one of the students' families lives in Kenya, and they have helped to set up meetings with CEOs from a group of Fortune 500 companies that are headquartered in Kenya. So it happens as part of the academic curriculum, as study abroad, but also co-curricularly as well.
Yeah, lots of opportunities to go abroad. We have two real signature, in addition to our Maymesters, which Chris took advantage of, we have something called the Global Citizens Program. So as early as the second semester of your first year, you could do, for example, a study abroad experience in Sydney, Australia for the first half of the spring semester, and then the second half you could go to Singapore and do an internship. So it's super cool. We also have a experience in Urbino, Italy, where our students do a full semester of their competitive effectiveness course, the one that Shania was talking about earlier. That's done in Italy, working with Italian companies. So really, really super cool. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit here to talk a little bit about academic advising and the faculty mentor experience. So we do have academic advisors, and they will be your academic advisor all 4 years. And this is someone who can really be, I call them sort of the shepherds through your experience. So wondering, Shania, just kind of pick on you just for a second. Can you tell us a little bit about your advising experience with us?
Yeah, I've had an amazing advising experience, I'd say. I met Ray my second semester freshman year, and I really just had a great time getting to know him. We really created a bond, I would say. It's gotten to a point where I actually work alongside in Brenda's office as an intern, and every time I see Ray, he's like, hey, how are you? Like, what happened this weekend? He remembers every small detail, even though he has so many students that he's actually advising. So I think I've really gotten to foster a great bond with him and connection, and also just him helping me every step of the way, whether it's about questions about class or just in general, like personal questions or anything at all, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a great resource. So I do want to put this blue and white spreadsheet up here for you to see a little bit about the academic programs that we offer in the school. And Chris, if I could just kind of tag you a little bit, tell us a little bit about why you chose your major and your minors.
So, as you know, a lot of people, high school seniors, you don't know exactly what you want to do with your life. I didn't either. I played basketball in high school. Part of me thought I would be in the NBA. I'm here. I walked in with, a general understanding of business and walked into the business dynamics class that Larry's currently teaching. And I instantly took a liking to both finance and business law. You take a couple of required courses to kind of introduce you to the different sides of business. You have, your mandatory finance classes, your mandatory law classes, and I really took to the law classes. It came to a point where me and my professor were actually hitting balls at the golf range, talking about legal handbooks, exciting stuff. And then my senior year, looking at trends in the world, you see, this movement towards data analytics and artificial intelligence. And I saw an opportunity to be a part of the first wave of people who had that knowledge, had that skills under their tool belt. And, that's something that I really jumped at the opportunity for, because, this education that, my parents are thankfully paying for is mine. And I have the opportunity to do with it what I want, and that's what I wanted to do. So I'm blessed for that.
Okay, so that's the academic experience, and we're going to shift a little bit to talk about the professional development experience. And I'm hoping if Dean Stover could tell us, I ask her this question all the time, but what is your favorite service that your amazing team offers for our students?
Really hard for me to pick, but I would say backpack to briefcase is what I would focus in on, right? So backpack to briefcase is a 4-part professional development curriculum that's required of all of the undergraduate business students. Likely if you ask students what their favorite part would be, it would not be backpack to briefcase. It is required, and frankly, it requires students starting the first semester of their first year to start to think about their career development, their career path, developing themselves as a professional. VSB sees that as equally critical to the overall experience alongside the academic part of the experience that we've embedded it as part of the curriculum. I'd be happy to talk more with you individually or as we go along about the individual parts of the backpack to briefcase curriculum, but I choose that because it's so foundational for all of our students and is intended to give every student a strong jumping off point to pursue whatever path they ultimately decide, whether it's law, marketing, something in the tech space.
Yeah. So Shania, tell us a little bit about your backpack to briefcase experience. What was your favorite part of it, and how did it really help you with your internship and your job search?
Yeah, so I think, oh gosh, this is my boss, guys. So I think I am like B2B. Sometimes you get to it and you're kind of like, oh, this one credit course, it's here, like I have to do it every week, like there's assignments due. But honestly, like now looking back, you're always looking better when you look back. But it always helped me because we worked on resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn's your freshman year. So really having that foundation has been amazing. I know compared to some of my other friends at different colleges, like they didn't have that to begin with. So I'm absolutely grateful for B2B. One of my favorite parts of it, probably junior year, we had another case competition, me and the cases. It's the marketing in me, I think. But I really enjoyed working with the team and creating just a pitch in one day, just really going through it and then just giving it to high-level execs who were alumni, faculty, and so many more others who just come and support Villanova students and see us do our thing.
Yeah. Super cool stuff. So the backpack to briefcase experience is a signature part of the VSB experience, so we're very proud of it. It has created some extraordinary outcomes for us, and we'll talk about those here in a minute. We also have fabulous business societies that do all kinds of incredible programming. I'm just going to pick on one, like the Villanova Finance Group, that does some amazing stuff. But you see a crew here on a trek, and this is to the NBA, right? So yeah, Brenda, you want to share with us a little bit about our treks?
Sure. So we have an industry trek series that the idea is that we take students to the front line where the action is happening. As recent as this past Friday, we did our semesterly Villanova Finance Trek, this time in New York City, where we took students to visit Deutsche Bank and Atlas, which is part of Apollo. Last spring, we took students to Citibank and Morgan Stanley. This coming Friday, we're working with VSB's Center for Business Analytics to take students on an analytics trek to Bloomberg and Financial Technology Partners. And then in a few weeks, the first Friday of October, we are leading a business and finance and beauty trek and are visiting Bloomingdale's and Laneige. As a side gig, I also serve as the advisor to the Business of Fashion Society, so we're working hand in glove with the Business of Fashion Society to plan that trek. So lots of opportunities for students to gather career information here on campus, but again, we also offer this industry trek series of offerings to take students on the road and get them on site with companies.
Yeah, so it's not just our treks, though. We have tons of networking opportunities between students and business leaders. So, Chris, hoping you can tell us a little bit about your networking experience here at VSB and how it helped you to do your internship search and your job search.
Yeah, most notably, I'd like to start off with the professors. The professors are very experienced in all areas, especially, the ones they teach, and they know so many people at firms. My international finance class, just this week, we brought in a manager of a private equity firm in Silicon Valley, and he was able to talk to us about, his day-to-day, what they're looking for in, recruiting. That's so important to us right now. But, also just the culture of Villanova itself. Touring other schools, I sat exactly where you sat, and I would walk around their business schools and see kids working by themselves, walking by, they're taking assignments, and they have their hands, they're not sharing. Here at Villanova, we're competitive with each other, but we do share. We all take the same classes, and we help each other out, and I think that speaks to, our alumni. Our alumni are always reaching out to us. I'm a finance major with a business law minor. An alumni from 2010 actually reached out to me. He worked at UBS. He lives where I live, and he reached out to me through email. And he said, listen, we did the same thing. We went to the same school, go Cats. I would love the opportunity to talk to you. And that was so surprising to me because usually, we're the ones sending out hundreds of emails. Our alumni actually reach out to us. So that was so awesome.
It's amazing. So we talked a little bit about this. We gave you a sneak preview. The class of 24, they've been in the workplace for a bit now. But I just want to share some numbers with you. Essentially, all of our students have at least one internship while they're here at VSB. It's pretty exciting. And out of our students who graduated in 2024, 96% of them have an opportunity after they graduate, whether that's working with a top employer, going on for graduate school. The number in green is our average starting salary. And this is one of my favorite data points. 93% said Villanova equipped me with the knowledge and tools to successfully navigate my career. It's pretty impressive. Brenda, do you want to share with us like a cool story from one of our alumni and sort of something that pops out in your head?
So speaking of Reckitt, where Shania has done an internship the last 2 summers, we have an alum there now who's a global brand manager. He was actually moved into that position when the week that the pandemic kicked in here. So imagine being on the Lysol brand, becoming a global brand manager of Lysol at that point. But when he was here, he was a finance and accounting major and spent many years after that at PwC in the deals group. And he was very successful. But I kept in touch with him, and he would tell me over time, like, I'm doing well, but something doesn't feel 100% matched. And ultimately, he went on to full-time graduate school, got his MBA, and then pivoted, which is not typical, pivoted from a finance and accounting career path into a brand marketing path. And he graduated in 2010. It's 2015. 2025. Sometimes it still feels like 2015 to me. 2025, 15 years later, we're still in touch on a regular basis, and he is actively engaging with people like Shania that are interning with him and students that are potentially thinking about a major pivot from what they maybe came in the door thinking they were going to be an accounting major or a marketing major, and then let's say junior year, all of a sudden they have an epiphany and they want to go a different direction. It's very hard for students to do that because of real or perceived pressure from parents and peers. He has been sort of a soldier for me to let me refer students who are in extreme cases like that so he can help them to get comfort with the pivoting and how it ultimately leads to a fuller professional experience. And that's one instance of an alum, but there's many, many others. I think Chris referenced the alum from Orange County reaching out to him. Those are not exceptions. Those are the rules with our alums.
Yeah, and that's really the power of the Nova network. Extremely important for our students. Just some final thoughts. This is just my favorite of all data points. 95% of our graduating students said that their Villanova experience prepared me for the next steps in my career and life. So not just career prep, but providing students with the values, the skills, the ability to be a successful member of our community as people, right? So Chris, tell us a little bit, how do you respond to that?
I'm curious about the other 5%, honestly. You hear it all the time. You know, Father Peter's gonna say it. Villanova means new home, and they say it a lot, and you're kind of like, okay, here we go again. But you know, it's genuinely true. You know, coming from California, I knew 0 people coming to Villanova, and instantly you are put into these orientation groups. You meet with your business dynamics group, and you understand that everyone's going through the same thing. You know, you have a group of people around you that are ready to support you. You have professors that, you know, ask you questions, take a general interest in you, no, personal interest. My apologies, and that's just something that really sticks out to me. I see people taking notes here, and your education is your own, and Villanova helps you believe that. You have these advisors who will guide you and allow you to take whatever you want to do and to make your education, you know, personal to you. I'm a finance major, business law, data analytics. I wanted to take an acting class after seeing the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. I was allowed to. I was put into an acting class, and I got to wear a cape 3 times a week. You know, when does that happen? Only at Villanova.
So thinking about, you know, sort of what we've been talking about, Shania, what impressed you most about the Villanova and VSB community, and why did you ultimately pick Villanova?
Yeah, I think honestly, totally building on Chris's point of the community, the people here, I think something that stood out to me, being in your shoes, walking around campus, looking at Con, the new beautiful Con. I like the old one a little bit better, I can't lie. But Connolly Center, that is like the hub of Villanova. Yep, that's the student union building, excuse me. Basically everything happens there. Food is there, a lot of good food. The
No Wawa?
Wawa is there, guys. We have an on-campus Wawa. So that's amazing. But I really think it was walking on campus, seeing people smile, laughing, just like walking in between classes, which normally, you know, people are like, oh, I have to go to classes. But genuinely, people are so excited to be here. The energy that people give, the willingness to help, like Chris was saying, like at any given chance, if someone needs, you know, just a pick-me-up, needs help finding a job, an internship, there's been multiple occasions where I'll reach out to a friend, I'll be like, hey, you did this interview, like, how did it go? Like, can you help me out? And they're like, they'll drop everything and they'll be like, yeah, come over, let's have lunch, let's talk about it. And I think it really is just a community. I can't talk enough about Villanova and the people that come out of here.
Yeah, I really think that's the differentiator for us. We have an amazing community. Okay, it's up to you. You have a great brain trust here. I'm going to try. Erica told me I normally don't like to point at people, but that might be the way that we have to go. We have a couple of our admissions crew here to help pass around some mics, but we are here to answer any questions you may have, no great or small. So if I can see some hands, then I can, this can be like Ricky Lake. Here we go. If anyone remembers Ricky Lake, Mom and Dad, I know you do.
I was happy to hear that you guys incorporate AI into every class. So I was wondering about how, what is the policy, the academic policy regarding use of AI in student assignments?
Yeah, so it very much depends on class and instructor, and depends on the course. So sometimes it might be a little bit more appropriate to engage with AI doing course assignments and so forth. In some cases it may not. So it's very variable on the instructor, but the thing that will happen is instructors make that very clear to students on the first day of class. How can AI be used in this class, and if so, what are the rules around citations and things like that? I'm sorry? Yes, you are typically not allowed to use AI on examinations. Thought I saw another hand. Brave souls. Ah, yes.
In addition to the, oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. My hearing is going. So.
Oh, okay, that's okay. In addition to the professional networking that you have, do you have other job fairs? And at what point are they held during the school year? Like sophomore year? And are the students allowed to start looking the end of freshman year, or when does that process begin? Thank you.
So I'll address the fairs part of it. So in addition to the O'Donnell Center for Professional Development that serves business students within VSB, there's also a central career center which serves students across the university. They are the hub for our employer relationships. So they are the employer managers, and then my team collaborates with them specifically for employers that are interested in recruiting business students, just to give you that context. So the Career Center hosts 2 traditional career fairs per year, one in the fall, which was just Wednesday, literally right here on the floor of the Finn. There are about 160 companies here and 1,800 students. Proud to say that VSB had the most first-year students in attendance. Actually, we have the most students attend the career fair overall. And then they also have a traditional career fair in the spring semester. That's held on campus in the Conley Center, which is a student union building. And then throughout the year, there are other types of employer networking events that we call meetups, again, many of which we collaborate with the Career Center. So we have a Wall Street meetup series, 4 different events over the course of the year that bring 12 to 18 banks to campus to talk about their sophomore recruiting process. The first week of school, we had a consulting meetup that was held virtually with 15 consulting firms. There's a big tech meetup in the spring semester. So there's a host of those types of activities throughout the year.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
How many students do advisors have each year, and is there an open door policy?
I'm sorry, how many students do advisors
have each year.
Yeah, and the second part?
Is there an open door policy?
Is there an open door policy? So typically, I'll answer the second part first. The reason that we it's more of an appointment-based system so that we can dedicate the time that we need for you. So if it were open doors, then some people come for 30 minutes, some people come for 5 minutes, and so we really like to do the appointment structure because we found that to be a lot more give us the bandwidth and the time to be able to spend the time with you that we need to do. So our caseloads, it kind of varies depending upon last name and how we slice and dice the class, but it's typically in the mid-200s per advisor. So that's what we're aiming for. I see a gentleman who has a striped shirt here.
I just had a quick question regarding food, because I think that food is a big deciding factor in applications. So this is for all of you, but more geared towards the seniors we have here. I was just curious, what's like a go-to meal for you guys?
It's a great question. I think it's changed throughout, my time at Villanova. My freshman year, it was the ready-to-make stir-fry on South Campus. And they also have like an omelet station that's open until like 2. I like breakfast. IHOP is a staple in my family. And, breakfast until 2 and then stir fry at night. I put on some good weight. It was a fun time. But now I live off campus, and there's a lot of options off campus, but I find myself going over above Doherty Hall. There's a place called Kova, and they have sushi, teriyaki chicken bowls. They have kind of like their own Chipotle. It's right there with Chipotle, I would say, neck and neck. Chipotle might have a slight edge, but it's very good. No, don't worry about food. You'll be well fed.
Yeah, and also fun fact, in Kova that he's talking about, there is a Pope Leo Chicago-style hot dog. So,
Ooh.
See, I heard some oohs and ahs there. But honestly, yeah, there is pretty good food. I think it just gets a little repetitive sometimes, so there's that. But I always enjoyed, there's a new thing at Spit, so where the freshmen normally live. I call it Spindian. It's Spit Indian. Oh my God, it's so good. It's like a good, something you don't normally get. But now that I'm off campus, I love to go to Suburban Square just down the street in Ardmore. I love to go to Kava, Shake Shack. They have all the good stuff. So Villanova is right, in the middle of everything.
Talk about the exchange in Bartley.
You want to?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention where I eat the most. It's in Bartley Hall, our business hall. They have a sandwich shop, which they also have, calzones, and it's phenomenal. The people that work there are so nice, and it's it's not even about the food, but they knew when my birthday was, and on my birthday, they actually made me a cake, and they made the entire exchange sing happy birthday to me. It was finals week, and nobody sang, but it was just a nice touch.
So nice. I thought I saw some hands over here. Yes, sir.
So what's the best way to get involved your freshman year in the business school? Go for it.
I think so we have a resource fair that actually just happened, I think, last week. I think just putting yourself out there, going to those fairs, just signing up for every club. I know for myself, freshman year, I really went way too into it. I signed up to like 20 clubs, I think, like everything from like finance. I'm a marketing major. I was in VFG, Villanova Finance Group. Just really putting yourself out there. I joined so many clubs, and eventually I just went to those meetings, found out what I liked, what I didn't like. Dropped a few. I'm part of like Special Olympics now. I love that organization. Part of Villanova Marketing Group. I think it's just putting yourself out there and then eventually weeding out what you like and what you don't think you like as much.
Within the business school, I definitely say the club fair is the best way to get involved. You know, you have these finance groups, accounting groups, and I'm a little bit biased, but I do feel like I'm a part of a organization called VSB Ambassadors, where we represent Villanova in events like this one, and I think it's a great way of meeting people who are, you know, juniors and seniors, seeing what they're involved in and kind of, you know, throwing your hat in the ring.
So we just finished up the third week of classes, and in that 3 weeks, we've had a VSB Student Resource Fair, which Shania talked about, where there's representation from all of the support offices on campus that would help academically, student groups, places like the O'Donnell Center and the Career Center. We had a business society fair that my team hosted, so the 30 student business societies all were represented and provided new students the opportunity to sign up on mailing lists and whatnot. And then there was also a university-wide involvement fair where all 250 plus student groups across the university, from the Harry Potter Club to the Baking Club to the business societies, were there. And it was, again, another opportunity for students to find things that they wanted to engage in.
Yes. I want to see some people with capes next year. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I had a question regarding internships and like employment opportunities, and I'm curious if you could comment on sort of the geographic distribution of the types of employers that VSB students go to, and whether it's perhaps more focused on like Center City, Philadelphia, or maybe up and down the Eastern Seaboard, or just sort of national.
So I would say anywhere is possible. We work with students, as does the Career Center, in terms of internship and job search based on where they want to go geographically. And in terms of employers that recruit at Villanova, I would say the majority the recruiters are probably from East Coast offices, but oftentimes we'll do referrals nationally. I will say that our students are somewhat New York City centric. There's a lot of our students who want to work in New York, and there are plenty of opportunities to do that, but there are also opportunities to work elsewhere. We have students that go to Chicago, West Coast, starting to see more that are going down south. So I'm a firm believer, geographically and otherwise, that if there's a will, there's a way.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Hi there. I'm a graduate of the Villanova Business School.
Yes.
So, yes, thank you. And actually, so is my husband, but he took too long to ask me out 7 years after graduation. We didn't meet at school. But I have two questions. First is, I know a lot get jobs. What about entrepreneurs? How many entrepreneurs and people who invent jobs and start businesses and try innovative things? How does the school do that? And then I have a follow-up question on your economics degree. Is it Austrian? Do you teach Austrian economics, or?
Oh, is Dean Mao here?
You may have just asked a question that I've never heard before in terms of the economics, but we could, if you want to connect with me afterwards, we'll follow up on that.
I was hoping Dean Mao could be here because she's an economist to answer that question. So. Oh, no, but
entrepreneurship, yes. So there is absolutely, the spirit of entrepreneurship is encouraged on campus. So we have a university-wide Institute for Innovation and Entrepreneurship that has a venture fund, that has a board of alums that help students that are trying to start businesses, support them, a whole host of opportunities. And then just this academic year, we're reinstituting within the School of Business an entrepreneurship and innovative leadership business minor that not only will have academic components to it, but experiential components as well.
In our business dynamics course, we actually are participating in something called the Idea Challenge, which is our students come up with cool, innovative ideas, and then they compete with each other against the other schools at Villanova, and it's actually a competition, but it's part of our class. So we do talk, and I spent the last 2 weeks talking a lot about entrepreneurship, and so I think we're very supportive of students depending upon what they want to do in that space. Absolutely. Okay, who's next? We're done? Okay, we're done. So just a quick thing. We will be out here in case you have any questions and here, and a lot of our student ambassadors are going to be there, so looking forward to kind of catching you at our resource fair. Thanks very much, guys.
All right, friends. Sorry to be the mean ones to cut off the questions, but we got to get you out on tour, all right? Okay, so we're all friends here today, right? I thought so. So we're going to do this dismissal. We're going to be nice. We're going to be organized. But most of all, we're going to listen. Okay? Here's your first admissions test right now. All right, so we're going to split you guys up in a couple of different groups. But first, I want to make a couple of quick notes before we head out. Please note that Bartley Hall, which is of course where the Villanova School of Business is, it will be open until 4 o'clock today. So after your tours, please stop by, check out the classrooms, lab spaces. There'll also be some additional staff, faculty, and students there to answer any questions we didn't quite get to today. All right, so here we go. I'm going to dismiss you guys by section, and if I do not call your section, guess what your job is? To stay seated. You guys are great. All right, thanks. So we are going to actually start. I'm going to take this because I need it. All right, so we're going to actually start with the lower half of the arena. So upper half, we're going to just chill for a second. I promise to get you out. So lower half, if you are basically from this side, my stage left, you all are gonna rise like yeast and go back out these doors where my good friend Jamie is waving. That's where you're gonna go. Thank you. Yeah, there you go. Follow Jamie. She's absolutely lovely. Awesome. You guys are great. I know we're so excited to get out there. I was gonna say, where's my music? All right. I know there's a little music going, you know? All right. Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. Thank